Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good evening. In this video we will again discuss about this program. Last time we discussed that when we want to write a program, we must start with this what we call it, the rules. We start with okay, let's see the slide. I think this one. Start with command, preprocessor directive, clock and port configuration, global variables, main programs, variable declaration, and program logic. Okay, let's go back to our program. So here, first thing first, you need to put a command. You need to put a command here. Start with a backslash followed by a star, and you must close your command, start with star and end with backslash like this, and this is the command. Okay, and then you try to build a file, zero error, and after command we will put a preprocessor directive. So since this coding, we write this coding for STM32 F10X series, so we just put include STM32 F10X series. Here after you put this directive, preprocessor directive, this kill will know that the coding here is aimed for this processor chip. And if you aim your coding for Atmel, let's say, or 8051 from Intel, you must use include here Atmel blah blah blah, or Intel blah 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 8051.h maybe. So now since we aim to write this coding for STM32, so we just include STM32 followed by this clock and port configuration. Here is a clock configuration. So in this video, our main objective is to understand this RCC clock configuration, real time clock configuration. And to configure clock for this processor, we must manipulate data inside this register, APB2 enable register, advanced peripheral bus number 2 enable register. ENR is for enable register. Okay, but this time I want to discuss this coding together with this demonstration. Okay, here on my screen you can see that this is STM32 chip. STM32, you can here STM32 F103C6 series. You can do a Google to understand what is the features for 103C6 series. Okay, so for this microprocessor, it came with a 3 port A, port B, and port C. Okay, here for my circuit, I connect all of port A to 4 7 segment here. Port A, here, port A, pin number 0, pin number 1, pin number 2, and pin number 3 to the 7 segment, and pin number 4, 5, 6, and 7 to the 7 segment, 8, 9, 10, 11 to the 7 segment, and port number 12, 13, 14, and 15 to another 7 segment. So for one port here, for one port A, I can connect to 4 7 segment from the type of BCD7 segment. We call this a BCD7 segment, or binary coded to decimal, meaning that to display 0 here, in order for this 7 segment to display 0, we just provide a 0 in hexa to this 4 pin, 0 0 0 0 in binary, so it equal to 0 in hexa, and then straight away the 7 segment will display 0. And to display 5, we just give logic 5 in hexa, meaning that 0 1 0 1. So that this 77 will display number 5. Okay, this is about the Proteus and 7 segment. Okay, for coding, here RCC APB2 enable. Last lecture I already mentioned to class that the advantage of this STM or ARM based or any ARM based CPU is we can disable each port individually. Like this one, by default this port is all disabled. Only when we want to use this port, we can enable each port individually. Let's say I only want to use port A, so I just turn on clock for port A. And if I want to use port A and B, so I turn on port A and port B. Okay, but if I just plan to use only port B, so I can shut off port A and I just turn on port B. Same goes to another port, like this one is port C or port D. Yeah, this one is port D 0, port D number 1. So if we plan to use port D, so we can turn on port A, port B, port C and port D. Okay. Okay, next let's go back to our coding. So here APB2 enable register is a specific register inside the CPU that is dedicated for clock control. Okay, we can see this on the manual. Yeah, where is the manual? Here, but not this one. Back installer STM32. No, maybe this one. Oh, kejap ya. STM32 mana ya? Wait. Okay, kita carilah. APB2 enable register. Okay, next. Okay, here APB2 peripheral clock enable register. So let's see here. So the size for this register is 32 bits here, from bit number 0 until bit number 31. So altogether is 22 bits. So bit number 2 control for input output port A enable, meaning that if we want to turn on clock for port A, we must set logic 1 here, and for port B we set logic 1 here, and for port C we set logic 1 here. And if we want to turn on all port in one instruction, we must put all here logic 1 1 1 and 1, so it will become 1 1, the rest is 0. 1 1 0 0 is equivalent to C, and 0 0 0 1 is equivalent to 1, so 1C, and all here is 0. So that's why I give logic 1C here inside APB2 enable register. I instruct the CPU I instruct this skill to put data 1C inside this APB2 enable register here. This one is APB2 enable register, so data 11100 will be available here soon after the microprocessor execute this line of instruction. Okay, next, after we turn on clock, we need to declare, because for each port IO, port A and B, is a general port. It can be an input port or output port. So we need to declare either port A is an input port or output port. Okay, but since this video we just only aim to discuss about this clock, so we just stop at this line of instruction. Okay, let's say in my case I turn on all three ports. This is a port A, port B, and port C. Why? Because I use 1C. 1C again is for 1 1 1 0 0. 1C, 1 here, 1 1 0 0 is equivalent to 1C. And then after I turn on clock, I can program each GPIO, general purpose input output, either to become an input or output port. Okay, let's say okay, let's try 2-bit of file, so 0 error. Let us try to simulate the our Proteus circuit. Okay, I try to okay, I try to run simulation. Okay, so both port LED at port B and port A is running. I write the coding to do a simple counter. It will count from 0 until F, and then it increase here D, E, F, 1 0 1 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and on and on. And then let's see what happen if I turn off port A here. This one is port A. I turn off clock for port A. So to turn off clock port A, let's see here, port A. So here we must write a 0. So 1 1 0 0 0. So meaning that 1 8 in hexa, right? 1 8 in hexa. And then I try to rebuild file. It's no error, still no error, because here it's only check on syntax. As long as the syntax is correct, so kill will generate no error or 0 error. Okay, so after I build a file, kill will generate a new set of hexa file here under object demo 7-segment hexa file will be updated. So here is only the hexa file. Let's try to look what's inside this file. Not bad. Okay, here is the coding, a hexa coding. But the microprocessor understand how to read this coding and how to decode this coding. Okay, and then after the file update, I try again to rerun this simulation. So let's see, I stop current simulation and then I rerun the simulation. You see, the program now encounter a problem, right? Why? Because I disable clock for port A, but in this circuit I still use port A. I connect port A here to here to here, so simulations cannot run properly. So I try to stop the simulation. Okay, it seems that kill didn't want to stop. Okay, never mind. So what should we do? So since we disable port A, so anything that is related to port A we need to disable. Mana lagi? Here, counter for GPIOA. So I disable. Then I try to rebuild file. Okay, rebuild a file. Okay, terminated. I try to stop and try rerun again with a new set of a hexa file. Oops. Wait. Still crash. So I just close this program and I try to reopen file, this demo 7 segment, recover. Okay, no problem. Then no. Okay, so run again. See, for counter for port B is working properly, 5, 6, but for port A now, here is port A, now is malfunction. Why? Because I already disabled this port A. Okay, so that is how clock registers work. Yeah, this how this clock register work. So same goes to port C. Here, if you want to disable this port C, you can change this clock configuration to 08 and then disable port C. It's better for you to stop your simulation to avoid this software from a crash again. Stop the simulation and then okay, rebuild a file, 0 error, so we can rerun again. Okay, so this part of circuit is now disabled, port C. Okay, so today I hope everybody can study and try to understand this video. I will share this coding with you after this through our WhatsApp channel. Yeah, so you try to play around with this coding and try to relate this code with this table. Where's the table? Here, table for APB2 enable table. Okay, so with that I stop this video here. We will discuss about this later. Thank you.